Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and I am going to try to talk all the way through this video. I'm still having a little bit of pain, but it's not quite as bad as it's been, so we're going to try to make it through. I have just pulled out a ton of different size envelopes, and I'm going to make another one of the envelope journals that I did, I think, last year maybe. I might have done one this year, I don't know. And I'm going to be using the Blue Luster digital kit that I created. Going to be using that one. And you'll see pages as I flip through. And then I'm also going to use some of the papers that my sweet friends at Inky Finger Society sent me for my birthday. Thank you so much. And it's more than this, but anyway, I pulled these out. I will link their Etsy store below so that you can go over and check them out. They have some wonderful products over there. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is pull all the envelopes out. If I have to stop through the video, I'll just play some music. That's the only thing I know to do. Hopefully Skillshare will be okay with that. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, and Skillshare is one of the largest online learning communities with thousands of creative classes in countless categories ranging from bullet journals, life management for creatives, 10-minute art journaling, 7-day challenge to conquer artist block, one paper wonder, painting and folding a unique art book, master mark making. You know, you see a lot of people now doing the master mark making. They have classes on that. 60 art prompts for mixed media magic class. That's just to name a few. These classes are taught by industry experts with a learn by doing approach. And if you would like to join me in learning from Skillshare, be one of the first 500 people to use my link in the description box, or you can scan the QR code right here on the screen and you will receive a 1-month free trial to Skillshare, plus 20% off of your first year. So get started today. Okay, so what we're going to do is just pull out some different size envelopes. And this one, I think, let me see if I've got one here that is not sealed. I think all of these sealed on me, probably because it got so hot in here through the summer. There we go. Okay, we'll have to put some paper on that, but that's okay. And let's see, I just kind of start with my largest and then I work my way down. Now, if you have some envelopes that don't have the little flaps on them, these were sent to me by one of you guys, and they're open at the top. So we can make a flap to go on that if we want to use it. And I probably will, because I think I want to use that size. That one is the same size, so we'll go, I'm going to use that one. And then I'll pull that one in. And then, let's see, I want another one that's a little bit smaller than that. I'm looking over here in my other little stash of envelopes and see if I've got one. If you don't have one the right size, you can always cut one down. It's not a big deal. That's about the same size. So let's see. Looks like all of them are the same size as that one, except this one's a little bit smaller. So we'll pull that one in. And then, and now this is the way that I do it. I know a lot of people do it differently. You can do it any way that you want. There's another one, another one. I'm just going to pull the envelopes. There's a vellum envelope that will be neat to use, because I've also got some little pocket things here too. That one someone made and sent to me, so we're definitely going to use that one. And this one was made and sent to me. I absolutely love it. And I think this was from Inky Finger Society too. Love, love, love that stitching on that. And then these are little top load pocket like things. All of these are. And so I will probably use those, you know, for different flips. So we're going to use one of those, and I think we might use 2 of those. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I start with my largest envelope, which is this one. And then I just kind of go down from there and decide how I want to make these flip. Now, I like to put them together like this as long as they'll still close up, which it will. You don't want to put one here that's a lot bigger than this one because your envelopes are not going to flip right. So I'm going to put that one that way, I think. And then we'll put another one. Let's see, this one has the thing on it, so it has a thing on it. So we'll probably put that one there. And you can center them, you can put them, you know, up top, down bottom, whatever you want. I'm trying to decide if I want to pull this one in. I might pull this one in, so let me put a flap on this one. I'll tell you what, this is one of the backing papers. So I'm just going to pull this one in and use it for a flap. So I'll just show you how you can put flaps on these where the flaps are already gone. One of my printers don't print, well, both of my printers don't print full page anymore. They're both so old and worn out, like me, that they don't print full page anymore. So I need to get another one, but I tell you, printers are a little bit costly unless you can find them on sale. I'm hoping Black Friday they'll have a good deal on them and I can get a new printer because I have worn these two out. I'm just going to make sure that these little ends are glued down well because we don't want them messing things up for us. And now what we're going to do is I'm just going to decide how big I want my flap. I don't want it huge. Not like that. And I'm not going to worry that it's ragged and jagged. That's okay because most of that's going to be covered up with paper anyway. So don't worry about any of that. Alright, we're going to tear this off. And this is just a rugged way to, you can spend a lot more time and make these flaps nice and pretty. But like I said, most of this is going to be covered when you put your papers and things on, so I don't worry about it. I just put them on there. Now, let's see, do I want that completely closed? Yeah, I'm going to close this top up because I'll probably open like the side or the bottom, something like that. So I'm just going to close this top up because we're going to have lots of pockets in here, but they're going to be different angle pocket, different, they're going to be pockets that fold different ways. So like this one might be a pocket that's on this end or here, you know, wherever. Alright, and I'm just going to angle that a little bit. And I'm going to cut a little bit off of it because I don't need it quite that large. And that's it, just a rugged, rough flap. That's all we need. Okay, so then we are going to, we could put it here, but that would go into this, so we're not going to do that. We're going to put it here, right on top of that one, I think. Like that. Yep, I think that's going to work. Now, you can also flip it over and put pockets this way, too. So, let's see if we want to do that. I think we might come back in with some of these smaller pockets and go this direction, like this. And a lot of this, well, say a lot, but some of this may change when we start adding different things to it. So nothing is set in stone at this point. All right, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to cut that in half so I can make a smaller envelope. Because, like I said, we're going to seal all these up in different ways anyways with your paper. So don't worry about don't worry about if the end is opened up because we're going to close them up. We're going to do all kinds of stuff with them, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to put that like that, right there. All right, let's see. Let's put another guy right here. guy. I don't know if that's a guy or a gal, but we're putting it there, aren't we? And then I'm going to flip it back, I think, to this side. And don't worry, I'm not gluing anything down yet, so we'll be able to go over this when I start gluing. So don't get concerned and say, oh my gosh, she's going too fast. I can't understand what she's doing. We'll get it. Just hold on. So I'm going to go down here. Anywhere I find a little place that I can put another envelope, that's what I want. I don't know if I'm going to put this vellum one on or not. It's very, very fragile. I may wait and put it somewhere else. So let's put this little one on. And it can just attach like that. And then you can come in and put some like this. Just so there's all kinds of little flips and tucks, and that's what you want. Just a lot of little flips and tucks. Like that. Like I said, other people do this different than I do. I just put them on and then I look at it, and if it's okay, then I leave it, and if it's not, then I go and do something else. I can always change things up in midstream if I want to. Let's see, I'm just looking to see if I have any more little envelopes here that I might want to include. These I'm going to include, but I'll glue them on later. So let's see. Let's see how many we've got. We've got 1, 2, that will be cut off and covered. Don't worry about that. Then we've got 3, and then 4, and then 5, and 6, and then 7. And see, I'd like to have another small one right here. Let's see what I've got. Well, I think I'm out of really small envelopes. I've used a ton lately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little envelope and see if I put it on here. No, it's going to be a little bit too big too. You don't want it to interfere with where things are going to fold. This one will work right here. Put that one there, like that. And then I'd like to have another small one up here. Let me see. That one would be too big. Too big, too big. That one will be too big. You know what? That one won't be too big if we fold it pretty well down here. Now we'll have to open it up, but that's okay. We're just going to make a smaller envelope out of it, or little bag, or whatever you want to call it. Okay. And then I'm just going to cut this off because we don't need anything that big. And again, not worrying about getting it too smooth, just cutting it off. And I'm going to link a couple of videos that I've watched on Skillshare, and then I'll also try to put some little clips right here. Denise Love is one that I watch quite a bit. She has some great videos on different ways to make embellishments and little one-page wonders and things like that. So I'll put her link below. Had to make that one a little bit smaller so that it wouldn't interfere with our fold. So see, you can make your own. Make whatever size you want. There we go. Now we got that and that. So those would fold out. This one will fold this way. This one's going to fold like that. And then we can put some other little pockets on here. Alright, I know you're saying, what in the world? That looks like a big mess. It does look like a mess until you get everything going, so just hang loose. We'll do it. We shall do it. But like I said, when I am starting to make these, the only way I know to do it, I don't do them one at a time because I always change my mind. So the only way I know to do this is just kind of sort them out the best way, and then I can always go back and put them together. So we're going to start gluing. Now first off, I'm going to cut this down because we don't need anything that's that large. So we're just going to cut that down. Don't be afraid to cut your flaps off. You just need a little bitty flap to fold over. There we go. That will work. So I'm going to start at the beginning, hopefully. And this is our beginning, and then this one went on there. So we're going to cut this off a little bit too. I don't need all of that flap. That's just more bulk and more to cover. So let's cut that off. And I like the ends at little bits of an angle. That way it folds under better and it glues easier. I also like these little pieces cut off. It's not going to be a little journal that I can finish in one sitting. This is going to take probably a little while for me to get it done. Especially at the rate I'm going these days. But we will get it done. Okay, we're going to glue this one to that one. And you can use your glue stick if you want to. I'm just gluing whatever's open, or using whatever's open right now. And don't forget, our glitter glue will stop shipping pretty soon because of the weather. The weather's getting pretty cold in certain areas. Now this one, let's see, we want to open that at the top. Yeah, okay. I'm going to glue this one on the back of here. This is just the one we made the little flap for. And don't worry about all your flaps, you know, being close together or on the same side or anything like that, because we're going to cover most of that with paper anyway, so don't worry about it. See, those are like that, but that's going to be covered. I'm not going to worry about that part. Okay, then this one is going to fold over this way. So let's cut this off some. I just figure the smaller they are, the better it's going to be in the very end, right? Okay, just making sure that I'm getting these on the way that I need them. And it doesn't really matter. You can fold them anywhere that you want. You can put them all on one side and just make a big stack. You can put them on two sides. You can, whatever. This is a whatever you want kind of game right here. Whatever you want. Okay. Now, let's see. That one's going to glue on that side. This is going to glue here. Glue there. Okay. I'm going to glue this one on. I'm going to move that one down a little bit so that I can get this one right up. You just want to get them right up at the fold, at the manufacturer fold. You want to get them as close as you can. See how I chop those out? They're not even pretty. That's okay. They don't have to be. We're not going to worry about that part. Okay, then I think that one's going to fold that way, but we need to start on the other side before we mess up. So I'm going to fold those back out. That one's folded there. Okay, then this one is going to fold here. So we're going to put this one on. And I put all of mine together and then I put paper on. Some people put their paper on and then put them together. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know if it matters particularly or not. But this is just the way I do it. Let's see. I think I want this one this way. So I'm trying to get the stacks, the different angles or the different layers. That's kind of what you want when you get going here. Let's see. I'm going to make sure, but you want to make sure that all of them fold in and out though. You don't want to close one of them off. So we're going to put this one over here. I love making these. They do take some time. They take time to put all your paper on and all your embellishments and all of that. But when they're finished, to me, I love the look of them. Okay. Got that there. I think I want to put, didn't I put one this way on here? See, I told you they will change as I go along. Now on the outside or the front side, I definitely want some different angles there. I think I'm going to save that one for the front. Not angles, different layers, I'm sorry. So I got a layer here, a layer here, a layer here. And then that one. Okay, so we're going to put, that's going to be on there, I think. Okay, I think I got it in my head now. And we're going to chop this off again. We don't need all of that. And if you do accidentally put one together wrong, don't worry about it. Just pull it off and do it again. Go again. I'm going to chop this off. And I can't cut straight today because I've got the shaky hands. But that's from all of my medicine that they've had me on lately. So just have to ignore my shaky hands. Alright, we've got that one. I think I want that one that way. Just make sure I'm not closing anything up. I don't think that would work that way. Let's see. Maybe I had this one this way. Yes. Let's do that. And you can do all of this with junk mail envelopes. You don't even have to use your regular envelopes. Just do it all with junk mail. Okay, and then we might do that. That's the same size. We don't want to do that one. We want to do this little one. Okay. Now, this gets to the point where I have to start thinking. So, all right, we want to put something on here. So we need some layers on this. So let's do that. Might even do another one of those. Now that's a couple of different layers. Okay, I'm going to put these down, and then I think just a couple of more and we'll be finished. And if you do accidentally close, you know, an envelope up that you want to use, that you can just cut it open at another spot. You don't have to worry about that. You know I don't worry about much. Not this kind of thing, anyway. Because to me, this is paper. It can always be remedied, or it can always be fixed another way. Okay, we've got all that. We've got all those layers. Look at that. Once those layers are finished, that's going to be so pretty. All right, here we've got that. And I do believe, let's see, this one is trying to seal over, so we're going to cut that part off. I'm going to cut right down through there. And I'm just going to let that seal over. We'll put, I'm going to cut part of it off, and the rest of it will leave. And it will have paper over it, so I'm not going to worry. Matter of fact, I'll just continue to glue it down. I'll make it close. There we go. Okay, so we got that one that way. And I think, I know I've probably changed these around a dozen times, haven't I? I think I'm going to go this way with that. And I'm just going to go in here and close the edge of this up. We could do that with paper. And we might do it with some paper too. But this little envelope is going to close a lot of it up. And then it'll be a flip that way. So you can go all different directions with your flips. Good grief. Yesterday I couldn't type for anything, and today I can't talk for anything. But I haven't talked in a lot of weeks, so I love these little strings, but I am going to cut them off a little bit shorter because I'm going to be putting paper on this, and I don't want them to get hung up in the paper. There we go. So that would flip up, this would flip this way, and then we'll put some things on here. Alright, and I think I might want the little pocket right here, another little angle. Or another little flip, and you can also put it up here at the top if you want. I'm going to put this one this way. See, this is never ending. You can just, I mean, there's no limit to the envelopes that you can put on this. It is a never-ending process, but I love it. I love the effect that you get in the end. Okay, do that way. Oh, I'm loving it so far. Now, this one, I think I want it to go this direction, I think. Let's see if that will look, what that will look like. Now, maybe we'll go up with it. Like this, and then that. Yeah, that works. So we're going to glue this one right here. Now, I'm going to glue it where I don't close that up, so I'm going to move it up a tiny bit. Just make sure that I don't close this little pocket up. I can always cut it back open, but we just want to make sure we don't close it up. Okay, I think, and see, my problem is I just want to keep going and keep going and keep adding and keep adding. And, you know, there is a point that you need to stop, I'm sure. I'm sure there is. I just don't know what that point is. Okay, we got that, we got that. We're going to put like something like this here. Another pocket. And then we fold it over this way. We've got this one, and this one needs something. That's going to be too large. Unless we put it up here. We could put it at the top and bring it down. Yeah, let's do that. And at this point, I don't even go over in my head which way I'm going to open the pockets, because that will come as you start putting everything together. You can also slide envelopes in like this. If you have some that are the same size, you can just keep sliding them in, keep adding them. Like this one, I can slide that in there. And then I have another flip. And I think we'll just do that. I know, you're saying you need to stop because you'll never get all these covered. That's the absolute truth. And when you do this, you need to be very careful that you don't put too much glue in there. That might seep out, because then you're going to close your envelopes up. Okay. We'll put something here. I'm going to go ahead and put a little extra glue down through there. Close that up. Alright, we've got to flip that way. That one that way, that one. We can put something else here. You could even put another envelope that flips here. I mean, goodness, there's just no limit, guys. Like this. Oh my goodness. I love that. I love that. I love that. See, we got all these different layers. And I know I've been calling it angles, and it's not angles, it's layers. So we're going to glue this one down, and I'm just going to use this. Put a little glue. We shall glue it. The only reason I flip it over is I just want to make sure that I'm not closing anything up over here that I think I might need. But if I do, I'll just cut it open at another point. And I should have put that a little bit lower. Let's see if I can still redo. I'm not worried about it because I'm going to cover it with paper, so it doesn't matter if it left a little residue there. Should have put that on down here. So So my layers there, that's what we wanted right there. So now we got a little bit of that pocket closed right there, so we're just going to cut up on that. Cut that off. Okay, and then we've got this, we got that one, got that little flip, that flip, and we'll add something here. We may even use this window. Okay, let's flip these back like they need to be. So there we go. I think I'm going to stop. I know you're saying you should have stopped a long time ago. I think I'm going to stop there because that is a lot of layers and a lot of pages to cover. But this is going to be a neat little envelope journal when it gets finished. And I say little, it's going to be big. But you can use either side. You can use this side for the front if you want. Or you can use the other side. And I usually decide that after I start adding the pages, because I kind of look and see which side that, you know, shows the best on pages and layers, and I think this one might. So I might use this as my front. Now, if you've got a little piece like this that's too close when you fold, just cut it off. Just whack it off, people. You don't, and it doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to cover with paper. So you can just cut your paper in this little angle too. Don't want anything that's interfering. So there we go. Oh my goodness, that is, I love it so far. I just love it. And I you know, this way you can use a ton of those junk mail envelopes. A ton. Now, I used some that weren't junk, but that's okay. You can use your junk. I mean, you don't have to use like I did. I just pulled out some different ones. Some of mine were junk mail and some of them were not. I'm going to cover a few pages. I won't be able to cover a ton, but I'm going to cover a few. And I think I'm going to leave that one like it is. I'm not going to cover that because that came that way. And it's got a little pocket this way. Or I could cut a pocket up here and just close that over. But we'll see about that at a later date. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cover this. And you just want to pick out something that goes with the one on top. You don't want to clash. Not too bad anyway. See, I think I want more of that blue underneath this. I think I might use this one. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, first off, I'm going to cut this little white off where my printer, the little carriage in it, it gets all corroded over and it starts shifting the printing on it. So right now I'm dealing with that. I am going to tear this little bit of brown, I think. No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it. So I'm going to cover this right here. Now, on this, I do try to measure a little bit because if I don't, then I end up getting my paper way too big or way too small, and it's hard to trim these once they're kind of on there. So just mark them and cut them. I mean, we're going to come back with lace and all different kinds of things. So if you get it a little bit off, don't worry about it. I know I say that a lot, don't I? Don't worry about it. Well, you know, that is our motto around here. Don't worry about it. If, you know, if I have Bethany or somebody keying in something and they mess up, and, you know, Bethany panics when she messes up. And I tell her, don't worry about it. There's always a way that we can fix it. There's a way that it can be fixed. Don't worry. But bless her heart, she panics. She'll be like, oh, Nana, I keyed that in wrong, or I put it in the wrong category, or I did something. And I tell her, just, it's okay. It's okay, baby. Don't worry about it. She's my little keyer inner kind of person. She loves to just sit and key product and things in, so we let her do that. Because I don't like doing it, so I'm glad she's doing it. I am going to use my glue sticks on these because we can move them around a little bit with your glue stick. And I'm just gluing right here off camera. That way I don't have to pull all of these pieces of paper in the screen. So I've just got old magazines that I get through the mail over here that I am putting these on. I think I'll put it this way. I think that's the way it goes. And you can leave a little bit of your envelope showing if you want. These brown ones would be okay to leave a little bit, but you know, these of course I'm going to cover up pretty good. So there is our first layer. This we will make sure that we ink it well, and we'll put something on there to make it stand out a little bit more. Put something probably blue like this, maybe a blue flower or something. So, okay, and I think this came from, let's see, I want to say this came from Sandra. Sandra, is that right? Sandy. I think Sandy sent me this in some Happy Mail, I believe. Not 100%. All right, then we can flip this over, and I like to cut these off. And then I'm going to turn it and cut this one up. And then I usually just use my big scissors to chomp it, because those little ones... Oh, come on, big scissors. What's wrong with you? There we go. They didn't want to cut. If your Tim Holtz shears that you have, a lot of people I know have bought those from me. If they get to the point where they're not cutting exactly right, then take some alcohol, spray on them, let it sit for a little bit, and then take a nice thick rag, because this will cut you, and wipe everything off, because they get gummed up with glue, even though, you know, he says that they're non-tacky or whatever. They are. They get gummed up with glue when you cut a lot of things that have glue on it. So now I think I'll put a little piece of something right here, and I'll probably even use this little paper, this scrap here, just to cover a little bit of that. Oh, look, that's all. That's a good size right there, I think. Yep, that works. Okay, and then we're just going to, not going to interfere with my fold, so I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter than what it needs to be. I'm so excited that I can talk a little bit again. But no, I'm not going to overdo it. I know yesterday I had lots of people who said, don't overdo it. Make sure you get rest. I am getting rest, but I do have lots of things to do, so. And I had to get this video done today. And I didn't need to put anything on that. Ooh, I'm going to do it with my glue stick, because I need to be able to move it. If you put art glitter glue on there, you're not going to be able to move it very well. Let's see, I think I went in this way. So just slide it down in there where you need it. And there we go. Oops. Not there we go. Hold on. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. Oh, did I mess this up? No. I just need to slide it this way a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's covered. And then we just need to put some paper here, and that's going to cover that little place. So let's grab a different paper. Now you can do this with your Christmas collections. I just felt like today, since I've got 2 or 3 different Christmas journals started, I thought today I might just use this blue luster. I love this collection, and I haven't had a chance to use it yet. It is in the store. It's also over on Etsy. So if you need it, I'll have the links below. Well, I don't know why I'm putting that back over there. I need to cut it this way too. Oh, where's my little cut spot? I lost it. There it is, right there. And some of you may have enjoyed the quietness of me not talking on the video yesterday. And that's okay. We'll do some with both ways. Because I do need to rest my voice. But, you know, this is one that I do need to talk on since it's a sponsored video. But some of the other ones we may, you know, I may rest my voice a little bit and just play some music and let you still hear the background noise. I know a lot of people yesterday said that they liked still hearing the paper and the scissors cutting and all of that, so I'll leave all of that in and I'll just put some very, very soft music under that. The only thing I hate is my software that I edit videos with. They don't have a lot of good music on there. It's they don't have a lot to choose from. Not very selective on that part. Oh, I like that. Whoops. What did I do? There we go. I just had it sticking up a little bit. So we've got that and that covered. And this one's hanging over just a tiny bit, so we're going to trim it. And you could just put some ink right on top of that and it would be fine. And I probably will do that down here because it's a little bit harder to get to trim. So there's two of them. Let's go ahead and cover this one. Now this has got a lot of little flaps right here, but we can still do that. And I'm still thinking that I'm going to leave my window open and put something, you know, when I put my tag in there, have something on that tag. So, right, now what you need to do when you start to cover that next one is look at it like this. Is that going to look good together or not? I think it will because it's going to pull out the blue in here, and then if we put a blue flower here, that's really going to pull it together. So I'm going to use this. And then down here at the bottom where it doesn't come all the way at the bottom, I'll put a pocket there. That'll help close that up. So that's not a big deal. Now, I'm not going to be able to go all the way to the very edge of this because if I do, it's going to interfere with this folding. I'm going to go as close as I can, but I can't go all the way to the edge. So I'm going to put a little ink on the edges of this just to keep that folded down. And I think right here I need some glue. Now if we're going to use our window, what we need to do is I'm going to put this paper over here and then I'll come back with some other strips, I think. Does that sound like a winner? Like a wiener? Does that sound like a wiener? My husband used to say that all the time. Does that sound like a wiener? He was a mess. He was a mess. I don't like how I cut that. I cut it a little bit short. I need it to cover these up. So we're just going to do that again. I need it to go all the way to cover even these. So we might even cut it a little bit longer or a little bit wider, and we can fold over some of these if we need to. Let's get some more of the pearls and things on there anyway. Yeah, I like that better. Much, much better. So how are you guys doing? Is everybody doing okay? I know it dropped down in the 20s here at night. Cold. We don't usually have this kind of weather at this time of year. I mean, we even had a little snow yesterday, and I don't know how long it's been since I have seen any snow in November. And I think it was New York that had a lot of snow, and I think up in the mountains they had lots of snow too. So we didn't have, ours was just some flurries. It wasn't anything drastic, but it still was unusual for us because, like I said, we normally do not have any type of snow this time of year. Okay, I am going to trim that because if I fold it, I'm going to interfere with some different places here. So I'm just going to trim it and leave it right at that edge there. And then what I'll do is just come in here and put some ink on that. Close that up good. And there we go. Okay. So we got that side covered, and we're just going to put a little strip down through here. And I may use this for my little strip. Right there. And this is the one that's going to need to be pretty particular. It can't be too wide. I received so many birthday wishes. My birthday was in October, by the way, for anybody that's new. I know we've got quite a few new people on here. And I received so many gifts and so many sweet notes and cards, and I will be showing some of them as soon as I can get to where I can literally talk a lot and laugh a lot with you. But I've got some wonderful gifts, and I appreciate everyone. You do not have to send me anything. I appreciate everything, though, and I'll try to use as much as I can in my videos. Well, I messed that little piece up, didn't I? Alright, there we go. Alright, now we've got that. I'll erase my little pencil mark. So then we need a little piece here and a piece up here, and I'm just going to grab some scraps if I can. I might use this little piece at the top. Okay, I'm going to put it like that, and I'm going to tear this end. It just makes it look not so planned, if that's the word. Makes it come together a little bit better. I've done left my glue open until it's trying to stop up on me. I'm going to use this anyway. There we go. I think I got that on pretty well straight. And then we need a little piece right here, and that will be finished. Okay, this little piece is already cut, so let's see. Yeah, I'm going to go like that, but I'm going to tear this side a little bit so that it doesn't look so squared off. And this, I'm hoping this is not upside down, but I don't think it is. If it is, I don't think it matters. We're going to put that right there. And then we'll have a little pocket down here that will cover all of this. Then we can put a tag in there that has some, maybe a beautiful blue flower or something on it. So that, so far, and I'm going to end up having to trim that, I know. But that's okay. So far we've got this. And then we'll have our tag in there. I love it. So far I love it. So I think I may stop there. And I probably will cover some of these off camera, just because, I mean, you know how to cover pages, so that's not a big deal. Just put your page on there. If you want to close this side up and have maybe the top open, then just put your paper all the way out here to the edge. Just don't go into your spine. Put your paper out to the edge and glue it down, and then cut it open at the top. So these will open up in different areas. Like that one's already open, but this one is going to open at the top so that I can put a tag down in there. And then this little guy is probably just going to stay like he is to open here. So, and you know, we'll have that one. And then this one will open on the back side, of course. This one I'll probably leave it opening here. I'll just cut it out a little bit more. So you decide all of that as you go along. You don't have to decide that in the very beginning. But that is a good start to our Blue Luster Stacked Envelope journal. I can't wait to finish it now. And I got lots of pretty laces from you guys. You know, I hoard laces. I am a big lace person. Vintage lace especially. But I got lots of lace from you guys that I'll be using on this, and I can't wait to get it all completed. But that's all that we're going to do on the video today, because I need to stop, get some warm tea in my throat, and rest my voice for a little while. But we will come back and I will do more on this on another date. But I want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring this video. And if you want to join me in learning from Skillshare, just be one of the first 500 people to use my link in the description, or you can scan this little QR code right here and you will receive 1 month free trial from Skillshare, plus 20% off of your first year. So get started today. All right, guys, we will talk to you later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.